In life, you have positive experiences and negative experiences. But some people have more negative experiences than positive ones. Sometimes positive experiences are, your looks are responsible for that. And in most cases, being ugly, you'll have bad experiences. You will always be a loser and you'll never amount to anything. Nobody truly can care about you because human beings, we empathize better with the attractive. And your life is shaped by how you look. So you develop a personality that is extremely awkward. You find out that your efforts all fail, and you discover that it was never about confidence. It was never about personality. It was always about how good looking you are. You will be hated if you are born into this world ugly. You will be hated for something beyond your control, something you cannot actually change. You can do your best to work on your social skills and your confidence, but it doesn't change how you look. You will always be last. You will always be a loser as an ugly individual. You'll go through spurts of anger and hate. You'll go through a lot of emotions, but when you come to the conclusion that life is what it is, the only thing left is pain, and you discover that you can finally put your hate aside, put all the things that you had, all these emotions that were a waste of time, and all that remains is pain. And for many of you, if you grow up and you experience what I've experienced, you will probably commit suicide. And I'm sorry to say it, but for many of you, there is no hope. You will always be a loser. People will treat you like a loser. And for most of you, you will be single forever. Nobody will truly care about you. They will slander you behind your back. They will talk about you, discuss you, and act like they do not. They will assume that you are dumb, that you are not aware of what they are doing, what they are saying. The whole world, really, the whole world will be against you because you're not a part of the tribe. You never were. Your genetics decided that long before you had a chance to take your first breath. If you're a dude and you're born looking like a female, you will be treated like a child. You will be treated with disrespect, and some of you won't be able to handle it. You'll eventually go through a range of hate and anger for probably many years. Eventually, that will slow down, and you'll become very calm, and all that will remain is the pain that you have endured and the trauma. You'll learn that you can never take advice from people on what matters to attraction because you'll see it for yourself. Psychiatrists will gaslight you. Doctors will gaslight you. Counselors will gaslight you. Therapists will gaslight you. They will all blame it on you. They will never acknowledge that there are some things in life that you just cannot control. But some things in life are beyond your control. Some things cannot be fixed. That's just life. Life isn't always positive. Life isn't something that you can always fix. Not every single thing in life is something that has a solution. Some solutions are impossible. There's no such thing as a solution for every problem in life. You'll be blamed for having an illness because it's better to blame you as a person than to acknowledge that you're just an ugly individual physically. Believe me, I've seen time and time again men and women stay with partners that are terrible. They have terrible personalities. They beat on each other, but people still put up with them. And you know why? It's because they're good looking. And the better looking you are, the more likely you will tolerate a person. Never let anyone tell you that it's your fault, that it's your personality, that if you had a good personality, that's what counts. Because that's actually what sounds nice. We as a human species love things that sound pleasant. We don't like the truth. We don't like swallowing the truth because many times more than none, the truth is hard to accept. So we lie to each other. We lie to those around us who are struggling because we want to make them feel good. But sometimes lies are more harmful than making someone feel bad because eventually those people will find out either way. They'll find out why they suffer and the damage will already be done. Many of you will be born in households that are broken, born into parents who have also had shitty lives. Some of these parents, because of nature, will ostracize you or treat you differently than other siblings. This is because human nature is cruel, and just like in the animal kingdom, there is always going to be a runt of the litter, a black sheep. That's a real thing. That's a scientific fact. So the parents, though they don't realize it, will treat you differently. You are more likely to be put on psychiatric drugs, which will eventually chemically castrate you, be that if you're a girl or a man, because that's what these drugs do. And it's better to make money off of the suffering of people than to acknowledge that genetics determine your life. Genetic determinism is something that is extremely incorrect in social establishments because it doesn't make us look moral. It doesn't make us look godlike. It makes us look primitive. It makes us look like animals going by instinct. And they being social establishments, don't really want that. You have to make money off the suffering of individuals. You can't acknowledge why the suffering occurs. The only reason people fear death, and that's what makes you weak. If you don't fear death, then you'll have no problem fighting a cop so that he blows your brains out. The only reason people are afraid of the police is because they know the police can kill them. Once you lose that fear of death, you're not even going to fear your own death. So if you instigate cops shooting you, it's not going to matter anyway. Most cops in general were well esteemed in school anyway. So they get badges and they bully those they bullied in school. Bullying in school is only the result of kids being ugly. That's just how it is. These kids are genetically deficient. They don't look good. And by nature, children will bully them. It's human nature to bully. We bully those as a species we can tell are weak. By weak, I mean specifically genetically. Hygienics is already in existence. It's natural. Natural hygienics, that is to ostracize others based on genetic deficiencies. I look at life and I see it's all bullshit. It's all fake. We love to lie to each other. We lie to others. We love to appear better than what we really are. It's funny though, we're hypocrites as a species. We will love to advocate for our own suicide or self deletion, but at the same time, we try to prohibit those around us because the human species is designed to survive. And without survival, how can it continue? How can the human species continue if everyone is advocating for their own self annihilation? But for all of you who wish to die, I understand why. Paradoxically, suicide should not be stigmatized. It shouldn't be shunned. If anything, it's understandable. I think one of the reasons that society shuns suicide is not because they actually care about the individuals that commit suicide. It's because it makes society look bad. It doesn't show society as some establishment that is about equal opportunity or equality. We see these signs that say no one is illegal, love is love, No one should be a slave. But our own actions, our own behaviors will contradict that every time. Some of you may find a way to look better. And once you fix your physical lack thereof, you'll see a great change in how people respond to you. This is common. People that lose weight who are morbidly obese, everyone treats them differently, kinder. The personality doesn't necessarily change. This is something you'll have to learn if you can actually ascend in good genetics. Your face is what determines your fate. Never believe anyone who tells you it's not. Women and men, from what I've seen, will say it's about personality, but they always go for good-looking people, and rightly so, because it's natural. But they always go for good-looking people, and they tolerate the bad behaviors of the partners they select. The fact that men and women are beating on each other and continue to stay in relationships is a self-demonstration that looks matter. Because if it wasn't about looks, they would have left these people. But time and time again, they tolerate terrible behaviors. If you have a brain, which everyone does, but you have the ability to use it, use it. Don't believe what people say, believe what they do.